In the end, is the possibility of McGregor versus Mayweather simply a pipe dream, or is there a chance this could happen?
I think there's absolutely a chance it happens. From everyone I've talked to, all of my sources, I mean, everybody wants it. And when you have two sides, two very powerful sides who both want something to happen, they can kind of will it into existence. So as crazy as it may sound that Floyd Mayweather would have his comeback fight out of retirement against a mixed martial artist with 0 fights in boxing, and Conor McGregor, the biggest star in the history of the sport of mixed martial arts, would suddenly switch over to boxing and face, the biggest star from there in a boxing match that really logistically makes no sense on paper, but both guys want it to happen. Both camps want it to happen. And so ultimately, I think they kind of will it into existence. So, yes, it absolutely can happen. And as of right now, I would say there's a good chance it does happen.
It's interesting because De La Hoya is a promoter himself. He does not think that there's any way the UFC signs off on this. I mean, Damon, does he have a point?
Possibly, but I don't think so ultimately for a couple of reasons. One, the UFC doesn't really risk a lot in this. And yes, technically Floyd Mayweather could outclass Conor McGregor for 12 rounds, but the odds makers have already said that Floyd Mayweather would be like a 25-1 favorite because he is such a phenomenal boxer. And ultimately, Conor is 0-0 as a boxer in his career, and that's a tall task to tackle. But, again, Conor, the downside is very low because Floyd is not a knockout striker. He's not a Triple G, a guy that's going to go in there, could potentially knock out Conor McGregor in the first round or second round, or one of those kind of crazy, embarrassing moments like what happened with James Toney when he tried to cross over and fight in mixed martial arts where, it lasted less than a round, and it was just kind of like, okay, it happened the way we thought it would happen. Conor could go 12 rounds with Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather's not really a knockout puncher. And guess what? If Conor wins a round, if Conor wins 2 rounds, 3 rounds, he lands one big shot that kind of rattles Floyd even for a second. Those are all things that they can hold up and applaud and say, look what he did against arguably one of the greatest boxers of all time in his first boxing match. So I don't think there's a lot of lose-lose for the UFC, and ultimately the UFC will make some money because they will sign off. If they sign off and allow Conor to do this, they're going to get a chunk of the pay-per-view. I don't know how big that will be. I don't know how much they would be involved in the promotion side of this pay-per-view if it happens, but that's an easy paycheck. They're going to make as much off of Floyd and Conor in one fight than they probably will a couple of pay-per-views combined, or more than that, honestly, in this entire year.